Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. And the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A is all about the Sarcasm City TV community, people. All about the Sarcasm City TV community, the citizens of the city of Sarcasm. Get your sporting questions in, people. Get your sporting questions in. Let's bump up the likes, people. Let's first and foremost bump up the likes, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back. Share this across all the socials, and on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And it's any sport, people, past or present, you can ask questions on. So it can be football, it can be basketball, boxing, UFC, NFL, F1, whatever you want to ask about, get your questions in. And members of the channel, your questions take priority like a super chat. So any members, this is particular about you. You want to join the membership? Link is in the pinned comment, people. Many great perks. And of course, if you super chat as well, I will get straight to your question, your comment also. I will do that. But yeah, big up to everyone who's currently locked in as well. And as you can see from the title, I'm sure the majority of the questions will be about that subject. Manchester City knocked Real Madrid out of the Champions, Manchester City knock out Real Madrid and are through to the Champions League final, where they will face Inter Milan, and they're on for a treble. It's looking like they're going to win the Premier League, which they can pick up this weekend. Obviously, they play Manchester United in the FA Cup, and now a week later, after the FA Cup final, they will face Inter Milan in the Champions League final as well. Big up Pep Habibi, big up to Jack, big up Warrior J as well, big up Ray Millie, big up C1. What else are you lot saying? I have no idea. You lot be the reactionary takes is crazy. Big up. What was that I saw tonight? Madrid players were like cones on the pitch. They just got beat by a better side. That's all it was. They just got beat by a better side. That's legit all it was. After watching today's game, any chance for United at the FA Cup? I stand by everything I said previously. We're bringing a knife to a gunfight, but we got a knife. Big up to Dead in the Water, like I said. Big up Warrior J also. Let's see what you lot saying. Any questions? My thoughts about the Ivan Toney 8th-month ban. Well, it's 8 months, but it's starting from now. So that means you got May, you got June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it'll be back January. It'll be back January times. He'll be back January time. So it sucks that the ban is so long, because we've seen people commit worse crimes and get less. We've seen people get found guilty of racism, which we won't get into, but we've seen people get found guilty of racism and not get 8 months. So that goes to show that they put gambling above racism. But we already know that they don't care about racism in the world of sport. Like, we know all of these things. We know all of these things. So yeah, thoughts on it. I will talk on it on Man United more so, but I would still go and get him. 110%. I would still go and sign him. And the fact he's got 8 months, you're able to even cut the price, because you're saying to Brentford, look, you have an asset you can't use for X amount of time. So I would legit still go and get him, because Manchester United need more strikers. As we say, man. You good?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, man. Oh, bless fam. You already know. Quick. And big up to everyone who locked into the Pro Club session as well. Quick Pro Club session we did. So large up everyone who is locked in. See, hey, Manj, big up to you. Big up, Flawless. Hope you're good, brother. Yeah, man, I'm blessed as I'm as good as I can be, people. I'm as good as I can be, considering what's going on over the road at Manchester City. But props, all rivalry aside, props to Pep Guardiola, props to that Manchester City team and that Manchester City squad, because it's an incredible squad with an incredible manager, and you got to give plaudits. One thing I'm not is a hater. Like, I'll always give plaudits to successful teams, whether that's Manchester City now, whether that's a Liverpool team a couple of years ago, whether that's Arsenal in the past, whether that's Chelsea in the past. I'll always give plaudits. Don't worry, I'll always run bants and jokes, but you got to give plaudits where plaudits are due. Well, get your questions in, people. This show's all about you, the Q&A. So me and Jez ain't here just talking about a whole load of nothing. It's all about you lot. Let's bump up the likes as well. We're only at 16 likes, over 35 of you lot in the building. So let's get up to 20 likes and subscribers. We're looking for 5 new subs. We're at 6,450. So salute to you lot. We're looking to get to 6,455 people. Actually, no, I tell a lie, 6,448. So we're looking for 2 new subscribers. Get us to 6,450. We're looking for 2 new subs. And I got to salute the Sarcasm City TV community as well, because we hit 50 memberships. I know Play Simple gifted out 5. So salute to you lot. You know what I'm saying? Claps all around because we hit 50 membership. So we're gonna continue to grow. But like I said, get your questions in as well. Big up to Malcolm as well. Big up Jeremiah. I'm saying says Manchester United must win that final no matter fucking what. They want to see City win a treble. I hear you, Jeremiah. Big up. Jez, question. What kind of summer transfer market do you want to see from Spurs? From Warrior J?
I want us to go young. I want in terms of like I think one of the biggest issues now what Spurs has been for me is the pressing. I
Mhm.
can't remember the last time when we look like a team that we can actually press a team back without having to worry that we get an overrun every time. You saw City today, like in the first 45, Madrid couldn't breathe for a second.
Mhm.
Like, well, City was good in possession, out of possession. Like they could just retrieve the ball ASAP. This is one thing I want. Obviously, with the younger as well, I think we need to kind of let go of this thing of where we buy these middle-aged old guys or the older guys
Mhm.
because this hasn't been working. And I think somebody like I said, my first choice would be Arne Slot from Feyenoord because he embraces like getting these younger guys in, letting academy
Mhm.
players even come in if needed. Like I think we need to go there. And then obviously in positions, I want a whole new midfield. I want a new goalkeeper. I want a new defense, and I want a new attack. I want new everywhere.
Mhm.
Like it's the team. The team is just dead, bro. Team is dead. Like generally
Yes.
speaking, like even I told you already. If it's possible, Kane, you can go. Son, you can go. I wouldn't care too much. I know these guys were here
Mhm.
for good time, but bro, like let me talk about every good thing has an end as well, and I think this is just the end for them. Trying to keep them only delays the end for me personally.
Mhm. Nah, first, big up Timo in the cut. Yes, Timo, what you saying? You good?
Yes, guys, what am I saying? Up the
Oh,
Coventry City Sky Blue.
no, all right. Yeah, I don't know why this guy out here hyping up Coventry City, but we move. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Coventry City through
Hey,
to
come
the
on,
playoff
man.
final to
Coventry
play
City
Luton.
in the playoff championship round, man. One win away from the
Yeah.
Premier League, man.
I've
Old
known this
school,
guy like
bro.
2.5 years now. First time I've ever heard him mention Coventry City. But we move.
Literally,
20, what? 20, for those who don't know, Coventry City last time they were in the league. Back
Yeah, we're not doing no Coventry City hype. Yeah, you can shut up, mate. That's what you can do. With this is not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Jason says, do you think they made a mistake not starting Rudiger in the second leg? No, I don't think they did. I don't think it was a question of a Rudiger thing. Definitely not a question of like Rudiger. I don't put too much blame on the centre backs. I don't think that Alaba and Militao were awful. It was everybody else. Camavinga wasn't at it. Kaba wasn't really at it. The midfield wasn't at it at all. And Benz and Vinicius Jr. weren't at it either. So I don't really put too much blame. You just got sometimes you just have to give credit and give props to what's it called? And give props to the better side. And Manchester City were just bang at it. You know what I'm saying? They could
well, just to
arguably
start,
win a
I just
treble.
think you don't start at the end that you literally cause yourself in trouble there.
Yeah,
Like
facts. I agree. I agree. You shouldn't have
defensively,
done.
like people kind of like underestimate how important defensive midfielder is in a modern game. And the reason why Man City now successful is because Pep Guardiola, since Chelsea won the league back in 2017, he's been developing as the best pressing coach in the world, and that's
Mm,
partly why he's good as he are right now.
mhm.
Similarly, can be said also for like the Zerbi, but I think like the people are too busy focusing on their on ball tactical quality to notice it.
Mhm. First. But I don't think it was that. To Pepper BB was asking where's Jan. I believe she's working. So that's why she's not here. She's on 12. Go at her on 12 at Asian City and you'll find out where she is. Elias says next Spurs manager. I'll ask Jez when he gets here, actually. When he gets back, sorry. I'll ask him. I will. Warrior J says, question to Timo. Any away grounds you visited in the Premier League and you regret going there?
Burnley,
Man just said Burnley straight. Anything else apart from Burnley?
um, gosh, how many grounds I've been to? Probably Everton, just because I just don't like the kind of like old school grounds. Stinky as well. Probably Leeds as well in that sense. Leeds, like it's really small, but it's too tight as well. Like I can't even see literally like from the both sides, from both ends because they were like a post. And also Crystal Palace though. Crystal Palace, Everton, Leeds, nah. But great away days, but boy, there's too many like a big pole.
All right,
in our way for the view, isn't it?
First. Will Pep have the most Champions Leagues after Carlo and Zidane if he wins the Champions League final? I think so. I think it is C1. I think he would. I think he'd be on 3. I'm
He
not
would be
sure.
on 3.
So, Flawless, you wanting us to wait till Jan to get Toney? No, go get Toney in the summer and have him there ready because we need 3 strikers anyway. Weghorst will go back to his parent club and Martial's not good enough. So we need to go and sign 3 strikers anyway. And when I say 3 strikers, the 2 behind Toney are not going to be expensive. Go and sign somebody who's, I don't know, in between the ages of 20 and 22 and then go get a youngster for like 10 mil. Go get someone who's like 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get a Garnacho-esque player to play up top. That's what we need to do. Go get a Garnacho-esque. I don't know how much Garnacho cost, but I don't think he was expensive. Go get somebody like that to play
cheap.
up top. Yeah, he was cheap. So get someone for less than 10. Yeah, go get somebody who's like less than 10 million and go sign for someone for say 15 to 20 million and then spend the big money on Ivan Toney and go negotiate a deal for Ivan Toney as well. The fact that Brentford now can't use him and can't play him till January, go say, all right.
I have a question though. Can you actually buy somebody when they're banned?
Yeah. Presume so. Or what we can do, even if we can't actually sign him itself, go talk to them and get that deal sorted for January. All right, this is what we're offering. This is what you're gonna get in January. Could easily do that. Yeah, get him on the cheap, but I presume so.
He was bought. Garnacho was bought to United like under. No, he was bought for like under 500k.
Yeah, see, something like that. Go get a striker for 2 million. That's like
But this is the thing though. These type of strikers, because the issue with them strikers is like, is this supposed to be like the first striker?
Second. I'm saying second.
Okay.
And the third when Ivan Toney gets here. I'm not even the second one. I'd say go spend a little bit.
I mean in the pecking order. In
the pecking order, third. Yeah.
Because the thing is, because when you're the first striker, is most so these strikers need to get them the loan as well. Because I feel like as first striker, we don't really barely get the minutes.
Correct. So as third, that's what you do. You bring him in for half the summer, and then he'll play half that season. Then if it goes well, calm. If not, then you can send him out on loan.
Yeah.
You send him out on loan. Like, that's the options. Like, you at Manchester United. Like, you'll be fine. Like, it's not like I'm saying go sign Harry Kane and have him as third choice. That's what I would say. Yeah, Jez was saying this at United for Life. Is Toney allowed to be sold in the summer? The ban says all football activities. Yeah, but like I said, even if you can't officially be sold, you can still talk to Brentford and say, okay, this is the bid. We're going to negotiate with them. And say, let's say, for example, he is banned and we can't actually sign him in the summer. Okay, we want him in January. Talk to him beforehand. Same way clubs talk to players when they're running out of contract. And like a deal won't necessarily get signed, but you'd be like, okay, we are going to sign you for X amount. Go negotiate. Same way we're looking at Kim and Jay, go get Ivan Toney and go be speaking about that. But we still need more strikers, more. We can't just sign Ivan Toney or just Harry Kane. Yeah. It can't just be one. We need 3 strikers.
I mean, first and foremost, you need an owner.
Yeah, that too. That would be a big one.
That's what you need first, because what's it called? This is the issue with like United now. Like, it's hard to plan when you don't know if you even will be able to make deals in the summer.
Facts. We don't know where it's
at. That owner thing actually has to sort out if you actually want to do any business.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, can't be sold, can't even train until September from what I've read, says Ed. Well, go negotiate with Brentford regardless and get that patent. Kai says, you think the Toney situation could be a blessing in disguise? Price reduction, seeing Manchester United's financial situation at the moment. Potentially. It should be. This should be a blessing in disguise for Manchester United because it's like a player getting relegated where you're negotiating from a position of power. A player wanted to leave the football club and you approach that club about that player. Use this to our advantage. Go inside. I don't care that he's going to be out of action for 6 months and he can't train. He can still train at home. He can train by himself. 110%. Go sign him. Whether it's 40, 50 million. That's a steal for what you are getting and the position we're in. Because we need a striker. Like I said, we need 3. Martial ain't it. Weghorst's going to go back to his parent club. What are we doing? Will Manchester United do it? That's a whole different conversation.
It's going to be interesting, though, the whole situation. It's gonna be interesting. Just I think not even just for the thing, but also hearing like how's he gonna stay in shape? Is he even gonna stay at Brentford? Like I don't know. Maybe clubs look at it from this perspective. Now we don't want to really even deal with somebody that I don't know. Like I said already, like if Kane does leave, I know already who my first option is right there. From like I already said, my Brentford, 20 million plus Richarlison. Take it or leave it.
That's it, Richarlison.
Hey, Richarlison can at least play right now.
They'll probably say just give us the 20 M's. Keep Richarlison.
They probably will.
Florida said
I made a bet. I said Toney will end next season with more goals than Richarlison.
I agree with that. I think that's a safe bet. Now over 50 of you lot in the building. Let's continue to bump up these likes though. Like check 1212. We're only at 20 likes. Let's double that. Let's get up to 40 likes, people, and subscribe and to the channel and continue to get your questions in. It doesn't have to be on the topic we are talking about. It don't have to be any of the main topics. It can be something else. That's fine. But let's hit that subscribe button. Get us back to 6,450 people. We're only looking for 2 new subs. And again, I'm not ignoring anybody in the chat. If you see me going to the same names and the same. If you see me going to the same names, it's because they are members or they're just asking good questions. And again, if you super chat, we'll get straight to it as well. So honestly, you gutted about City doing a treble. Hasn't happened, but it looks like it. Does look very much like it, but I'm at, what's it called? I'm at gutted. Gutted is the wrong word, but I'm disappointed about it. Yes, I don't want to see none of my rivals do well. So of course, pissed is more the word I'm looking at. Pissed, not gutted, pissed. Question to the panel, who was your man of the match? Probably Bernardo Silva. I thought all City played well, but probably Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva, yeah.
Bernardo Silva was it, I'd say. Bernardo Silva. I'm going to be real. I don't think they should air the FA Cup on final TV because, yeah, you're a joker, Kenneth.
Yeah.
You're a joker. It's all jokes. It is. It's all mad. All right, let's see. Questions, people. I ain't seen no questions. I'm not seeing very few questions. I'm just seeing hella statements.
It was hella dark day, man. It was a dark day for a lot.
Yeah. People just, I said it here. Next Spurs manager. This is as you was gone.
If I could tell you, I will tell you. I don't know. We don't have a director of football. It's kind of hard to say.
Who do you want, Des? Who do you want?
I said already.
Okay, let's say you got a director of football. Then is it? Let's say you do got a director of football. Is there anyone in particular?
I think it would depend on who it is specifically, but based on what we want, I don't know. It's so weird in the situation. I would say honest, not but again, it's so hard to tell actually because then the next director of football can say, let's say a German guy comes in because one of them we are linked to. That guy can say, I don't want Slot. I want somebody like that I know more closer in. So it's kind of hard to tell. If I actually had a director of football here right now, I could probably narrow down the list of the managers we probably get.
All right, fairs. I don't know anything about him. Who does he even manage?
Final.
Oh, it's the final. Okay, did they just win the Dutch league?
Yeah, they just won it.
They just won the Eredivisie. Okay.
Yeah. Right, the thing is, he only started managing in 2019, and has already done some good work. Has already seen a European final in the Conference League. Obviously, he lost it. He lost both to Roma in the quarters, and obviously in the conference final. He rebuilt the AS Alkmaar team that obviously West Ham are playing right now, and put them back more up in the table again there. Then he went to Feyenoord and took over that Feyenoord team, went to the Conference League final. Then half of that team left, rebuilt that team again this season, and then obviously won the league now.
First. And big up King Juice for the super chat. King Juice, much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. He says, big up gents from the States. Notifications are run flawless. I'm wondering how Harry Kane feels right now. He's supposed to be in a treble race, but that lizard named Levy crushed that guy's dreams. Kane to United or Toney. So big up first and foremost again for the super chat. Secondly, he said, big up gents from the States. King Juice, where in the States you watching from? He said, notifications are on. Love that. And he says, I'm wondering how Harry Kane feels right now. Supposed to be in a treble race, but that lizard named Levy crushed that guy's dreams. I would say I don't think Kane's too fussed. You know why? Because if Kane really wanted to win trophies, he would have left.
He would have been already gone
before even last season. You've seen literally all of the better players at Spurs in your time and before that leave and go on and have successful careers elsewhere. Whether it's a Modric, whether it's a Bale, whether it's a Michael Carrick, whether it's a Berbatov. That's 4 just off the top of my head.
Keane.
Who? Which Keane?
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane. What did he win? Did he win some?
I thought he left.
He left. He might have won something. I don't know.
He left to Liverpool.
Yeah, but I don't think Liverpool. Actually, they might have won a Carabao Cup while he was there. I don't know. He could have won something. That's a great point. Yeah, double check that. But like the list goes on in terms of names. I'm saying that have left and gone on to do some. Christian Eriksen, you know what I'm saying, went on to win a Serie A and win a Carabao Cup. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Walker, who's there at what's it called at Manchester City now, and has won however many Premier Leagues and Carabao Cups and everything like that. So do I think he's bothered? No. I legit don't. And that's not me questioning his mentality. I think he's just more so.
Just happy. Then he got the goal.
I think he's just more interested in individual awards.
Yeah.
Because he's good enough to go elsewhere and win trophies. So that's what it is. And in regards to Kane Kane to United or Toney, I'm with Ivan Toney, despite the betting ban, King Juice. Despite the betting ban, I'm fully with Ivan Toney. I think him getting the ban puts United in more in a position of power. It's like, all right, go and negotiate. And with Brentford and say, look, you can't play this player for X amount of time. Here's X amount for a player who are you going to risk him coming back and not being the same? For them, it's more, it's a big gamble. So, and are you going to give them the money and they can go and reinvest that? Because they can be looking at replacements for him now. So it's like, you could like, all right, this is the money you're going to have. You have 50 million, 60 million, this guy. But yeah, larger King Juice.
I'm wondering how Ryan Sterling feels right now.
I don't think he fussed because he got paid at Chelsea, no. He wasn't getting the money at City, and he won all these trophies. Yeah, I mean, other than the Champions League, which they look like they're gonna win, Sterling won everything. I don't think he's too fussed either.
Yeah, Sterling won everything, by the Champions League, won Premier Leagues, FA Cup, Carabao Cups. He's good. They got to play simple in the cups as boys, what's cooking. We just here, you know what I'm saying, chatting big up Cams in the cup as well. No, I don't watch the MLS. No, I don't watch the MLS. I'm not a fan. I'm really not. Do you think this Pep Manchester City team is one of his best teams since this is the first team Pep has actually been built by himself? Yeah, it's definitely one of his best teams. 110%. And if they do indeed win a treble, then you have to compare it to other top teams. I swear he had MSN, right? Yeah. Was him? It was MSN. Did he have MSN?
No, he left before Emerson.
He left before Emerson. What was his front three?
The thing it was Messi, Petro, and Villa.
Okay.
I think so.
I didn't have Emerson. All right, Fez. But yeah, he's had quality sides. So then, Dominic, you would have to go and compare and all those type of things. Like that's what it is, and then go player by player, team by, and then player by player, team by team. Well, not team by team, player by player, squad by squad. That's what you'd have to do. But hey, salute to Pep. Elias says 25 million for Toney. I wish, but let's say that was the price. That's a steal.
The only thing I feel sad for him is that obviously he did it by himself. Obviously doing all this about gambling stuff, but still, you still had the opportunity for the Euros is coming up next year. Obviously, I know Harry Kane is there, but still, I felt like England really. I mean, he can still prove himself in the next 6 months. Then when he comes back, but still, it kind of you have half the time to kind of prove yourself. You get yourself a spot in the team.
Yeah, first, Mo says which treble team is better if City do it. I think it's United because we beat everyone that was better than us in '99. Juventus had Zizou and David. Yeah, that Juventus team was different. All I say to this is, all United fans are going. Well, the vast majority of United fans are going to say ours, and City fans and rival fans are going to say City's. But I'd say ours to answer. Oh shit! I'd say ours to what's it called? Answer your question. Definitely, 110%. But this City one is incredible. Definitely, 100%.
But when I see centre backs playing midfield, you know, it's like crazy.
Hey, shout out John Stones. Ed says, Fator, you excited to see Lukaku back? More GNA than all your forwards combined, and he's been injured half the season.
I mean, there are not a lot of top number 9s available that are cheap. Plus, Inter wants Chelsea to pay more half of its wages plus cheaper loan fee as well. Then there's FFP looming, where we need for quality midfielders. I can't lie. For me, I just want to ask Sorry. I'm
No
trying
worries.
to concentrate on midfielders first.
This guy just did not answer the question. Timo, are you excited to see Lukaku come back?
Not really, no.
Okay, that's all
There
we
you go.
needed to know.
We got
There
there.
we
I'd
go.
rather
We got there,
have
man.
Lautaro Martinez, man.
There we go, man.
All right, fair enough. We got there.
There we got there, man. This guy just didn't answer the question, man. Question for Timo: what kind of summer transfer market do you want to see from Chelsea, and how many players do you think Chelsea should get? That's from Warrior J. There you go. There you go, Timo. You sound far away, you know.
Oh, I said 2 DMs,
There we go.
striker, goalkeeper like Martinez from Aston Villa. Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
No striker.
I said striker
Lukaku's coming
like
back.
Martinez.
Hmm.
Maybe
That's a Lautaro.
alongside Osimhen as well in that sense.
Okay. First.
But
All right.
realistically, a goalkeeper, 2 DMs, 4 players at least that's gonna come to Chelsea. Plus, you got some of the sellout as well from the club. So we're gonna sell a lot of players, at least 5 to 10 players. So that's around like plus the loan players as well. So it's gonna be massive next this summer as well. And we got to get to strike, and otherwise we're gonna fall into backwards again next season.
Mhm.
But realistically, if we get the players that we want, top 4 shouldn't be a problem.
All right, who drops out of who drops out of the top 4 if you're saying top 4 is no problem?
I'll say Newcastle drop out.
All right, first. Hey, you lot, bump up the likes because there's still over 55 of you lot in the building, over 60. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. We're only at 29 likes. Let's get up to 40 likes, people. Like check 1212. Only looking for 11 more likes. Continue to get your questions in. This show's all about you lot, people. So it says me, you know what I'm saying, Jez and Timo, and here we'll just talk about random stuff. So get your questions in as well. Who would you sell actually, Timo? That being said, let me add to Warrior J's question. Who would you get rid of?
Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz, Loftus-Cheek,
Yeah, what has he done?
Mason Mount.
I said Mason Mount, I can't lie.
For how much?
Well, 40 to 50, probably.
I thought he's 90.
Nah, not really, though. I was just messing around that time, to be fair.
Oh, yeah. You
First,
should
first,
be
man.
bounced.
First.
Yeah, first. So Mount, who else?
Gallagher, Mount Gallagher, Pulisic, Havertz, Ziyech, Chalobah. I saw Chalobah.
You'd get rid of Chalobah, might as well. Okay.
Maybe that. Plus some of the loan players as well.
What about Koulibaly?
If we get the right price in, then yeah.
Right price. Goalkeepers? Mendy, Kepa, you keeping them both?
Yeah, Mendy, I'll let him go. Kepa, I'll bench him.
Oh, so
just
you keep
because of
him
his
as well.
leadership.
Okay.
And if we get
Yeah,
like
I didn't say
a
that.
proper number 1 goalkeeper, like proper asshole like Martinez, then shouldn't be a problem.
Would you sell Lukaku?
Lukaku, yeah, just because of the FFP.
All right, cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chad, just to say real quick, the 90 million, I don't think it's 90 million. But the guy on the bottom row, that guy himself said, not even, I think 2 months ago was it, he said that minimum, by the way, minimum,
Oh shit, it was minimum, wasn't
that
it?
Mount is worth 90 million. Now he's 40.
Oh, that was a howler, wasn't it?
Yeah, you said it. We tried to tell you. You know what I'm saying? We gave you ample time to walk it back, and you doubled down.
I missed
Man,
World
doubled
Cup.
down. It was what? It was what?
I said World Cup tax, man.
What happened in the World Cup?
Well,
He didn't even play the ball in the World Cup.
English tax. That's why I said 90.
Oh, see.
Yeah, but then
because
you said Jude Bellingham, he's 60 or something, but he's English.
Yeah.
Where's the English tax then?
Yeah, but Bellingham is in Bundesliga, so
Yeah, but he's still English.
you don't pay tax in Europe anyway. So
But he's still English.
don't matter.
Yeah, but he was in England, trained in England to become Hong Kong.
guy crazy.
Anyway,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
we
Anyways,
live where we'll
Chuck,
just keep it short.
ask more
to-
questions. Chuck, just ask more questions, innit? Like,
Yeah. See what happens, people? We start talking about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's what happens. So mad. Let's see what you are saying. Do you think it was a good question? Dominic says, you think Denver can play like where is it? Yeah, you think Denver can play like game one all series? I think LA has a better and a more consistent bench and plays better defense. What are you saying, Timo? Thoughts?
Denver Nuggets cannot play a game like that the whole series. No way. First 2 quarters, you have to give props to Denver Nuggets. They play proper basketball, perfect basketball. They should be at least like Lakers should be down at least by 35, but AD still put 40 in their head and down by 6 by the end of 4th quarter. That's just telling. Even like Jokic haven't scored a single point since Rui Hachimura was on him for the most of the 4th quarter. But I'm not too worried, man. I'm not too worried. Like Davenham cooking something, but I'm not really happy with his starting 5. He put 3 guards against Denver Nuggets. No, you don't do that. It feels like game 2 you're screaming out for the Rui Hachimura and Vando game. Massive.
First, what I would say is, do I think they can play like game 1 all series? No, because they, especially for the first 3 quarters, they were incredible. So I don't see Jokic sinking all his shots and all the role players sinking all their shots, and even the backup to Jokic and your Jamal Murray sinking the majority of their shots. No, but it's going to be a good series. And LA, maybe Darwin Ham did figure it out in terms of what Timo's talking about. Jokic not getting, he didn't get a point like in the paint in that 4th quarter. So maybe it is take AD off of Jokic and put Hachimura on him, and then AD can help out with the defensive rebounds. But I'm looking forward to the series. And that being said, we will be covering that series, people. Tonight we've got the Eastern Conference Finals game 1, Celtics versus the Heat. But tomorrow night, 1:30 a.m., because the all 1:30 a.m. is game 2 of that Nuggets Lakers series, people. All this on the upcoming live stream schedule as well. Elias says, Kane to stay or go? I think he stays at Spurs. I've said this.
I think he stays. I don't think no, but unless United come in and make an offer, I don't see it.
I think it says Kante, not Kane.
Huh?
It says Kante. You said Kane.
Kante.
Kane?
I thought Kante. I said
oh
Kane.
Yeah, shit. Kante, yeah, you're right. He says Kante to stay or go. I thought he said Kane. My bad, Elias. Good spot.
Kante.
Kante's to stay or go. Yeah, I think he stays. I think he stays at Chelsea. My bad. I just seen Kane. I seen the Kane. I thought it was Kane.
Don't worry.
Hey, good spot, Timo. Look at Timo out here, man. About time.
Good awareness.
Timo, man. About time we threw you the ball and you know what I'm saying, you splashed it open free. But yeah, we move. But Kante to stay or go, I think Kante stays. What are you saying, Jez?
I mean, I swear he's about to sign new contracts. So yeah, I think he stays.
All right, and Timo said he stays as well. Yeah, man, Timo paying attention. The most for once is mad. It's mad. Warrior J says, I've never seen Coventry or Luton before in the Premier League. Does anyone in this panel saw one of them teams play this season? No. I remember I'm old enough to have seen Coventry when they was in the Premier League in like the 90s. I think early 2000s as well. But no, I don't watch
They were
Championship.
relegated in 2001, didn't they?
Yeah.
Alongside with Man City.
I don't watch the Championship.
And Bradford as well.
Yeah, I remember Bradford as well. But yeah, I don't watch the Championship. I really don't. Kai said, all that slandering Lukaku received at Chelsea is still better than all them strikers this season at Chelsea. That's not hard, though. The bar's on the floor.
Yeah, the bar's very floor, but...
Yeah. You were the first 5 players you want Ten Hag to get rid of, says Dominic. How long have you got? Jesus. De Gea, Maguire, McTominay.
You could just say the players that you want to keep and then everybody goes.
Yeah, serious. Yeah. McTominay, Fred. So I said De Gea, Maguire, McTominay, Fred. That's 4. 5 is... Who else would I get rid of? That's not a good question. That is a good question. Who's the 5th? Dalot. That'd be the 5. And I rate Dalot, but like I say, he's not good enough. I want 2 new fullbacks. I've spoken in depth about this many a time, about wanting 2 new fullbacks. Hopefully we do sign Kim Min-jae. If we were to move on Lindelof, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you were to move on to Sancho or Martial, cool, no issues. But yeah, it's like, how long have you got to be much more than the 5? It really would be. Yeah, with Martial, it's on, like, he's barely fully fit anyway, but he don't look the same. I don't know what's going on this season. But he's not looked eye at all. I don't know what it is. Like, he just seems off. He don't seem like him. I don't know if the injuries are finally taking their toll on him, but he don't look the same when I've watched him. Can't remember the last time I'm like, wow, Martial had a very good game today. Like, I can legit cannot remember. Hey, we're at 34 likes still, man. I said 40 likes, people. What are we doing, man? How are we only at 40 likes and why are we not at 40 likes and there's over 50 of you lot and only two new subscribers? That's all we're looking for, man. Jeez. I know there's new people here. I know 110% there's new people here. Hit that subscribe button, man. Big up to HKM Music as well. Warrior J says, Timo, I know Chelsea played bad this season, but any moments you liked this season? Yeah, any favorable moments from the season?
Probably the one against Dortmund.
Wait, the home game when you won
Dortmund
1-0.
home game.
Right, first. Was that when was it Havertz and Sterling both scored?
Yeah.
When Havertz retook the pen.
I think we played defensive football at perfection in that game.
All right, cool.
Hey, the Chelsea way, like it's supposed to be.
And yeah, people, as always, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of adding to squads and adding to adding to squads and making your team stronger. Someone just about to introduce, making his debut on the channel, Inter Milan fan, first and foremost. So obviously he's going to be extremely happy, probably confident going into that Champions League final. You would have seen him on Never a Foul. He's a regular on there. You would have seen him on the Football Terrace, regular on there. Very knowledgeable, not only about Inter Milan and Serie A, but also about the Premier League and other top teams in Europe. Man like Mo is in the building. Yes, Mo, what are you telling me, man?
Sorry, I'm late. I was just
It's all good.
with Daps on Never a Foul, of course.
It's all good, man.
But it's been a great couple of weeks for us as well as Inter fans, and God help the football fans in the Premier League if Man City win the Champions League. And also, I want to say, God be with us all if Man City win the treble. And if this guy is happy at Man City, this guy Pep is unstoppable, bro. I'm not sure what you guys talking about, and I just came here to say something. I was looking and I said something about this Man City team. People want to talk about the money and stuff. And I'm looking at the lineup today. Ederson came from the Portuguese league. Akanji, Borussia Dortmund. Diaz came from the Portuguese league. Walker came from Spurs. De Bruyne, Wolfsburg. Gundogan, Borussia Dortmund. Grealish, Aston Villa. Rodri, Atletico Madrid. And before that, Villarreal. And then Stones, Everton. Bernardo Silva, Monaco. And Haaland, Borussia Dortmund. Not one player was a superstar before joining Man City. Not one player came from an elite team. And when I say an elite team, I say a team at the stature of Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. And I'm looking at this Real Madrid club, and about 4 or 5 of them came from Chelsea, Bayern Munich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference in levels. People want to talk about the money. Pep Guardiola signs players when they perform very well for their club, and he turned them.
Bro, I saw him play Fabian Delph at left back for an entire season. Okay, I think you can give him any player and he'll make them better. I've seen it. He's made John Stones a midfielder.
But he's made Akanji a decent player, Winter Surfer. This Akanji guy, Borussia Dortmund said, 15 million, here you go.
Yeah.
Has anybody, have you seen a bird throw out food? That's exactly what Akanji. Borussia Dortmund thought that Akanji is not even food. He's like 15 million.
I used to pass him every time.
They thought they were overpaying for him. That's why. They thought they were overpaying.
Yeah, but I thought we got a good deal. No, it's probably like double worth or triple worth.
Before we continue, big up to everyone who's just joined from the raid over on Never a Foul where Mo was on, and you can catch him on a regular basis. Big up the whole Never a Foul gang as well. And Adam said it here, wow, Mo just literally came from Never a Foul and followed you over here. You're a grinder. Yeah, man, big up to Mo every single time. But speaking, you can actually give us from the opposite perspective. You know what I'm saying? Being an Inter Milan fan. This final, how confident or how not confident are you going into this final? Talk to us, because you are super honest. That's one thing I will give you credit for.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all. I'm looking at this Man City team. this is the best football side I've watched in my lifetime, and I'm 38 years old. Even better than the Barcelona. It's not over a season. I'm just talking over these last 2 months. I've never seen a side with that many ideas. And listen, all I'm going to say is that we cannot compete with the Premier League as Italian Serie A. I'm not a supporter of Serie A. I watch Premier League way more just because the product of the Premier League is superior to everybody else in the world at the moment. I don't think we can compete with Pep Guardiola. I would give my team a chance, a 30% chance, just because we're defensively very, very solid, very solid. And we have Lukaku, who's in form. We have Lautaro Martinez, who's now somehow is on 25 goals this season.
I remember there was like a stretch, like what, 7, 10 games?
Somehow.
He didn't score?
Yes, that's my I don't like Lautaro Martinez. But just to be honest, my team is doing really well at the cup competitions. I think Inzaghi has won every cup he's been at this moment. Super Cup. We're now in the cup final facing Fiorentina, beating Milan and Juventus on the way to here. So I would give us a chance because we have world-class players. We have players that would start for this Man City team. I think Onana is on par with Edison. Onana is, if not better. Because he's a better shot stopper. Edison today proved that he can be good, but I think Onana is a better shot stopper. I think Bastoni is probably better than, other than Walker. I think he's better than most of the back. He's way, but I think he's better than Akanji. If this guy Bastoni plays under Pep Guardiola, he's probably gonna go down as one of the best centre backs we've ever seen in our life. I think Barella is absolutely an astonishing player. I think, and this is just a personal opinion, that Marcelo Brozovic is as good, if not better, than Rodri. People don't want to believe that, but Marcelo Brozovic played the Liverpool team by himself last year. We controlled ball position by having Marcelo Brozovic. He took Croatia to the World Cup final. People want to say Modric, but it was Brozovic who was never subbed out in the World Cup. He ran the most. He beat his record this World Cup from the World Cup before in the most passes and the most kilometers run. I think this guy Brozovic is amazing. Barella is fantastic. I think Bastoni is great. Onana. I think these 4 players can start for Man City actually.
First, I'm saying that. Hey, back your team. I respect it. You said 30% chance. I like that. That's higher the percentage than I thought you was going to give him. So I do like that.
Because it's a final, and I know how nervous Man City. Listen, there is no pressure on these Inter players. You know why?
Hey, talk up the things, then, Mo. I like this. Go on.
There is no pressure. Look, these guys were not expected to be even in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. We had, if you saw in Zanetti's face when we drew Barcelona and Bayern Munich in the same group, he's like, okay, we're out of the group stage. And now we're here in the final of the Champions League. So the players are celebrating as they already won a trophy. Us in the Champions League final, with the financial limitations we have, we had to sell our best player over the past 3 years. We couldn't renew Milan Skriniar even for free. We couldn't. The guy said, you don't have the money. You can't afford me. I'm going to PSG. Perisic said, I'm going to... It's real. Even now, Lautaro Martinez asked for more money. He's like, we don't have money, bro. So we cannot compete with this oil money. We can't. Let me just tell you, we cannot afford the 10 million Lukaku deal next year. We can't.
Speaking of Lukaku, Mo, do you want him to stay?
No. He hasn't been good enough. He's been injured.
You'd send him back to Chelsea if it was your decision.
Yeah, and his wage, bro, is so much for what he offers. Listen, you got to compare the wage for what you offer, right?
First.
If he wins us the Champions League, I will talk about it, because that's already extra 15 million in the bank. Like if he single-handedly wins the Champions League. But Lukaku has not been good enough. He's only come to form in the last month. If you saw his interview yesterday on CBS, he was talking to Thierry Henry, and Thierry Henry said that in the background, people don't know that he was injured big time in the World Cup with hamstring. That's why he didn't perform. He's overweight because he can't run. He couldn't run. He said, I couldn't run. But I think that Chelsea are the people that couldn't use forwards. And Fatur, we talked about this before. If you fail with Lukaku, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, if you fail with all of these people, it's something wrong with you. It's not something wrong with the players that were performing before.
All right,
I just think with Lukaku, my issue is the system. Plus, in the league, in the Premier League right now, we play more of a pressing game. That's Poch wants Lukaku pressing a lot, high up front. That's my
I mean,
issue.
according to the news here.
We used to press, actually. We used to have the higher percentage of position in Serie A under Antonio Conte. People thought that Inter were a back foot team. We weren't. We actually took it to every other team in the league until the end when we were like, you know what, let's just get over the line, win 1-0, 2-1. But during like, I think 30 games, we were like, we're pressing, we're getting the ball back right away by Lautaro and Lukaku. I think Chelsea didn't use Lukaku. Listen, Lukaku, Flawless can tell you, Lukaku scored 18 goals for Manchester United before he was sold to Inter. 18 goals in the Premier League.
It's not a lack of goal. Like I've always said about Lukaku, it's never a lack of goals. It's the fact that he gives you goals and nothing else. That's always been my biggest issue with Lukaku. Goal scorer, yes. His record tells you that. Whether it's at Inter Milan, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Manchester United, whether it was Everton, whether it was West Brom, he scores goals everywhere he goes, without doubt. But like, as so many times, you're playing with 10 men. That's what it felt like watching him for Manchester United.
But I think Antonio Conte fixed that. Antonio Conte fixed that. He was a great counter-attacking player for Inter.
Oh, yeah. Because he can run. That's one thing he can do.
Because he lost the weight.
He managed him well as well. He managed him well.
Yes. And I think, but again, Lukaku, it's a very tricky situation because his market value dipped, but it dipped only to 45. Tell me one club that is going to pay 45 million pounds for Lukaku. Nobody. Chelsea are stuck with 20 million. You know, he makes 15 million, right?
Who does he suit though? That's the question. Who does he suit?
Nobody. You have to play him in a 2.
Yeah. Yes. Or you play him in a team like Atletico Madrid, he crosses left and right.
Everton come back. Come on, Sean Dyche.
Inshallah.
You guys. People keep talking about Lukaku. Guys, 15 million pounds a year. 15 million pounds.
Yeah, the wages are crazy.
Who's going to pay that?
Is it that NBA money, man? That NBA money.
Who can afford that?
And this the thing that I always talk about.
Enjoy, man. Enjoy.
And is this the thing that I always talk about? Clubs outside from outside the Premier League. Clubs outside the Premier League don't have the money to go and give these wages, bro. It's simple as that, man. So yeah, Chelsea are fucked. They gotta keep him.
Yeah, man, the only way Chelsea...
Hey, under 21s, man. Let's go.
The thing is, I'll say this, like, the only way Chelsea won't have an advantage in the negotiation to get Lukaku if the player himself decided that he doesn't want to stay. Otherwise, Inter would either have to pay a good amount for his services or leave him at Chelsea.
So, Mo, in the final, who are the strikers you would go with? Would you go with Xhaka and Martinez? Or would you go with something different? What would you go with?
I would go 100% with Lukaku just because, listen, I wanted to play Real Madrid because Real Madrid would allow us to have the ball. Man City won't, and we need to hit them on the counter. And without pace, you cannot hit this Man City team on the counter. And also, Lukaku can bully all the defenders at Man City. All of them can bully. Yeah. He's a big guy.
Can't believe I'm relying on Lukaku to save my season.
Yo, that's what I was thinking earlier. This all lies on Lukaku, man. This lies on Lukaku.
Lukaku and Bruno Fernandes.
Don't forget, man. Henry Mkhitaryan. You got Matteo Darmian as well.
Yeah,
all these are United reflex. Are you talking about these guys? Like, listen, Matteo Darmian, 34 years old. Henrik Mkhitaryan, 35 years old. We're lucky that we have a very good players around these guys that make like the Barella runs for 2 guys. Bastoni runs for 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're saying.
Allow Henrik Mkhitaryan to be that guy. But again, it's Man City. You will need to have. Look at Real Madrid. They looked mediocre today. Mediocre.
Yo, that's like a change in the guard in Europe. That's what that game looked like.
Yeah, it's
nah, man. When they get Jude, when they get Mbappe, when they go.
Don't go again.
I saw them linked.
I'll be real.
I saw them linked to Kimmich and Alphonso Davies today.
Bro,
buy more on Kimmich. Buy more.
Alphonso Davies.
Alphonso Davies, though.
Flawless. You're old enough, right? You're old enough like me. Dude, I've seen Real Madrid, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Go out of the quarter and the round of 16 of the Champions League year after year until they went and said, "Who's are the best players in the world? You're playing for me. You're playing for me." Like, how much money do you want? This? Here you go. This man.
They'll be back at it.
They've had 12 years slumps. They've had 12 years slumps and come back.
But they got it wrong. Yeah, don't get it back. Don't get it again. Because they still have a Camavinga. You have Camavinga. You have Tchouameni. You have Vinicius Jr. You have players there. Opposite of Valverde, you can throw in the mix. Jude, if they do sign him, and Alphonso Davies and Mbappe potentially, like, they'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Reece James, if he gets his act together.
Do you think this is the most one-sided Champions League final like of all time?
On
Not
paper,
in
has
on
it been?
top of my
No,
head.
the
no.
Liverpool,
On paper.
Spurs one. I think Liverpool Spurs one was more.
I think
2011
Liverpool and Spurs one, the
Barca,
difference
Man
was
United,
massive,
this one,
guys. Remember, the difference was
true.
massive between the Liverpool and at that time. I don't know how
Yes, Liverpool
Spurs kept
Spurs,
it 1-0
yeah.
until the
I agree.
end.
Wait, are we
It
talking
was-
about on paper or are we talking about the actual
I'm talking about
game
on paper. I'm
itself?
talking about on paper.
Are you
On
talking
paper.
about on paper? Yeah, on paper, this is the biggest mismatch I can think of in a Champions League final.
Yeah, because
I can't think of many.
this was my question. Because obviously, but I was wondering, are we talking about the actually games back past and played, or
No, we're
before
talking
the
about
games?
yeah.
I'm talking about
Cam's
on
asking, he said
paper.
On paper, it is
Barcelona,
today.
Okay, fair enough.
Juventus, 2015.
When? No, because Juventus had a
Nah.
banging. They had a banging.
And they
No,
won.
no.
And they won the league. They won the
Did
league.
Yeah, they won the league
Juventus
that
had
year.
a
They're a great
They
team.
won the league that year.
Barcelona were, don't get me wrong, Barca were favorites.
Arsenal 06.
I'm saying,
Uh,
yeah, Barca, yeah, because that 06
No,
team
no,
was Barcelona.
Arsenal were ahead, guys, until the red cards.
No,
No,
it's
no,
on
we're
paper.
talking about on
It's on
paper mode before the
It's on
game.
paper,
Well,
not
not the
live.
actual game itself.
Henry
before
was
the game.
amazing at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah, Henry
Henry
was,
was
yeah.
one of the best players in the world. So when you have one of the best players in the world, you
Yeah.
cannot say you're you are
It's not a
inferior.
big mismatch. Yeah, it's not a big
Choked-
mismatch. Yeah,
choked
comes
again
down to
in
your
the final.
question. Yes, on paper, this is the biggest mismatch I can think of. On paper, doesn't mean the game is gonna go like that. but
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Leading up to
don't you think that the Man City, that Centurion team that faced Chelsea, were better than Chelsea by a massive margin at that time?
You mean the 21 final?
oh, you mean the
21?
2021?
No, because we beat them
Yeah,
twice
Victor.
before it. That's why.
Yeah,
We beat them
I
twice
think
before it. That's why.
I think the Manchester City team it was better, but I don't think the gap is the same as this gap now.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I don't think the gap is the same as it is now. Like you will get massive. You went to a bookmakers, you're getting massive odds for Inter Milan to win that game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I might put money on Inter Milan, you know.
I'm putting my
I'm putting
money
money
on,
on Inter.
on City.
Yeah, you'll have to put a pound. You'll have to put a pound on to get 50p back. You know what I'm saying? And they're
That's
gonna be
literally
short
the odds,
odds.
man.
You're gonna be short. They're going 1 to 2 or something, 1 to 1. Like that's what that is.
Yeah, minus
Yeah,
minus that's going to be
Something crazy.
minus
over
10.
100.
In Inter, have got something for City, man.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
we'll get
agree.
to that
Nah,
captain in a second.
can't.
We're
But
gonna
we'll be
get to that.
ready. We'll be up for it. I think Man City will be nervous, guys. You remember, this
I hope
is it.
so.
This is it for Man City. This is it. This
I
is
hope
the
you're
year.
right.
You'll never get an easier Champions League than this. Bayern Munich at their worst, Real Madrid at their worst, Inter now and Milan and Napoli on the other side, Benfica, Napoli, PSG, garbage this year. Barcelona not even there, Man United, don't even start with that. Liverpool, boom. It is not going to be an easier Champions League. It's not going to be an easier one.
No,
I
you
think
right.
there's
Hey,
too much
before you go,
disrespect
Timo,
towards-
1 second. Yo, there's over 150 of you like in the building. Let's bump up the likes. We're only at 47 likes, people. Let's get up to we'll go 70. Let's go 70 likes, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new members of the channel. This is the Q&A, so get your questions in. I will start them because that is one of the perks of the membership. Of course, if you super chat, I'll get straight to it as well. But non-members and non-super chats, if you ask a good question, I'll get to it also. Yeah, go on, Timo. Stay what he's going to say.
I was going to say that there's too much disrespect towards Inter. They may not be the better team than Real Madrid, but I've seen the previous game against AC Milan. It's just the execution of the tactics. Then who's your coach again? Is it Inzaghi?
Yeah.
Inzaghi's a good coach, man. He outcoached us last season when he played Liverpool in both games.
But you know what? My issue is like I hear what you're trying to say, Timo. I think in any different scenarios, I would hear it. Like Mo said, if you said Real Madrid had to play Inter, I would give Inter a lot more faith. But in this scenario, it's very different because this Pep team, bro. The last time this Pep team lost a game was against us, and that was a 1-0 win at home, and that was on 5th of February. Since then, they haven't lost a single game. This is how we talk about how consistent this team has been.
Again,
Jess is Spurs fan.
Tottenham fan.
Spurs, Dortmund, USG. I mean, name
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Southampton.
Hey, okay,
Southampton.
USG, but
Oh yeah, you need to say Gherkins as well. Yeah,
but
yeah,
you get the point. You get the point.
Stuttgart, man, Stuttgart.
This Pep team, ridiculous, fam. Like,
Saturday.
I think it takes a miracle. It takes a miracle
Unless-
for Inter to win this final personally.
It is a miracle. It is a miracle. It's
a
rare,
miracle if it's Luton playing Man City. That's what I call a miracle.
You don't
But
think
Inter play Man City, I think the odds, yes, are in
Be a
Man City's
surprise.
favor.
Be a
But
surprise.
it'd be an upset for a fun.
Yeah.
But a
Major
miracle is
upset.
like when
They're doing
Sheffield
the biggest
United
upsets.
played.
All right, put it this way: it would be the biggest upset in Champions League final history.
I think the Liverpool
I
one's a
think
bit
the
bigger.
Bayern Leverkusen in 2002 would have been a bigger upset. That Real
Yeah, but they
Madrid
didn't.
team
No,
was
that's my point.
stacked.
Is but they didn't win it. Is my point I'm making. I'm
I don't
talking
think
about
Liverpool
winners.
in 05, no?
What?
Currently, but yes, Liverpool in 05, yes, but this would
Yeah,
trump
that
it. Is what
Milan
I'm saying.
team was weird.
That Milan team,
Yeah.
but I'm saying this would trump it.
I don't think so. I
don't think it would.
Because
I don't think it would,
Inter
no.
still have players that won stuff. You know what I mean? Like Inter have players that won the Euros. They're very good. That's what I mean. They have, like Inter have, even though Lautaro Martinez is a World Cup winner. Like if you count Inter players, there are all of them play national teams integral
Absolutely.
parts. But that's what I mean. Like, but I don't think that Liverpool team that played Milan. Oh man, there was some unknown guys that played in that team that people won't remember their names.
But the thing is, the reason why I'm saying it's big, no one was calling that Milan side. Well, it probably was at the time, but people don't look at it back.
It
in
was
now
at the
and say,
time.
No,
You
no,
remember
it
the
was crazy. Yeah, at the
2003?
time, that's why I said. At the
People
time,
look back
it's
fond
in
on that
the
Milan side, man.
They
People
do, but they
are
don't
very
talk
fond.
about it as they don't talk. They're talking about this Pep City side. Like, let's give Pep and like everyone's been waxing Liverpool. People are saying that's the best side ever.
Me too.
That's what's
I
that's
just
being
said
called.
that if they win.
Yeah, people have been so if people have been calling it the best, hold it to the best ever side standards. Then people are calling this Manchester City side the best side ever. So if
Yeah,
we're
I'm
calling
calling
it
them
that,
this, yeah.
let's hold it to that standard. Then they shouldn't lose to Inter Milan.
Yeah,
if you're the best
they
side
shouldn't.
ever. That
They
AC
shouldn't.
Milan side is incredible. Right? That's one of my favorite sides. I'm saying that AC Milan side, but people
Not
want
mine,
talk. No,
but
people
yeah.
don't talk about it now. That AC, yeah, for obvious reasons. But for obvious reasons, I get that in it. Like,
Even
I
though
fully
they have
understand.
two players that I love. They played for Inter, like Seedorf and Pirlo. You know, Pirlo is my GOAT midfielder in the history of football.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, like Kaka probably gets into arguably like my all-time 11, like best players I've ever seen. So I hear what you're saying with that. I fully hear what you're saying with that. Yeah, but yeah,
oh
go on.
my God, that super chat though. Don't start with this, people. Oh my God, Real Madrid won it 14 times. They got destroyed.
Let me
They
get to this.
got
And I'll
like
let you respond.
you know when you
Bro.
choke somebody today, bro. You know when you choke somebody and put them under your feet and you're stamping on their neck. That's today, and they won it 14 times. So stop with this. But big up for the super chat.
Yeah, big up Joseph. He says Inter winning isn't the biggest upset. They've won it 3 times. City haven't won it before.
That makes
but
no
yeah,
sense.
But
I'll
that
be
makes
real.
but that's I appreciate the super chat, Joseph. But it's not like it's not like the Inter side have won it the 3 previous years, and you can put that when the 3 times they've won it, only one of them is modern day. Like what we
That's
doing?
like saying Nottingham beating
Forest,
City.
yeah,
Wouldn't
yeah.
City wouldn't
Like,
be an
Nottingham
upset.
Forest have
Well,
won it twice. Like no,
hang on a
It was
minute.
getting nothing.
If Man City were playing Barcelona in the final, it would be an upset if Barca beat this City side. Barcelona have won it multiple times, the European Cup,
What?
so it doesn't make any sense how many times you win it. You know, you can win. You know, hello people. The European Cup is like over 50 years old. Do you know what I mean?
facts.
You can go like look how long it in between when Man United won their second one between their first one. It was what 35 years or something like that. That's how long you can go in
Something
between. Something like that. It's over 30 years.
Yeah, because it was 60. I think it was 68 and 99.
But that's, I mean, you can
I
go
think it
like
was
30
something like that.
years, 30 years about winning it. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
And Joseph-
so
go on.
hang on a minute. If not, the Forest made it to European Cup final against City. They've won it twice. So it wouldn't be an upset if Forest beat City. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that
let's
logic
be
is skewed,
sensible.
man.
Yeah,
Let's
and
be
you say
sensible.
heritage tax for me. With that heritage tax thing is just out the window. We just seen City beat Real Madrid 4-0.
Yo, Heritage
We
just got
just seen
boxed.
we
Just got
we
boxed
just seen
in that mouth.
we legit just seen Manchester City beat the team who have won the competition the most, who have won it. What is it? 4 times in the last 5 years or so.
5
4 in the
times
last
in
8
8
They said,
5
fuck your
times in 8
heritage,
years.
man.
Heritage. This is
Fuck
why
heritage.
people, I say heritage don't mean jack. It's about the quality on the pitch. I'm saying as good as Real Madrid have been previously, there's a reason they've gone 12-year spells without
Heritage
winning it.
tax.
Every single
That's what
team.
I'm
That's why I don't hear it. People are like, oh, European heritage. No, they have quality on the pitch. And that's what Manchester City have. And they had more of it than Real Madrid. So where was the heritage today? So yeah, I'm
Can
not
get
with
you
no
so
heritage.
far, Flawless. Heritage can get you so far.
Yeah, it can get you so far, but heritage never gets you without quality. You have to have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
form of
Real
talent.
Madrid used their heritage tax all last season, bro. They used it all last season.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Credit
Last
run out,
season,
bro.
I've never seen heritage
Hey,
tax.
You know
yeah,
what?
come to the dog. Come to the
Hang
dog.
on, they used it so much they owe they owe some tax back after last season.
Yeah. They're paying City back this season. They're paying them back.
Yeah.
What they owe them. Yeah.
Hey, I know it sounds stupid what I'm about to say, but hey, all I'm saying is last week I saw Yaya Toure talking about that it's no curse. And all of a sudden,
He needs to start saying that shit again.
Can I ask you guys a question? Can you talk a little bit football? How can this Inter team beat Man City?
Pray and hope.
No, you have to be clinical. You have to be clinical and compact.
You know what I'm saying? It's prayers, man.
I don't know, man.
It's prayers, man. It's prayers. Whoever your gods are, whoever you believe in, it's prayers, gods, and just hope. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I'm a United fan to go into the FA Cup final. I'm in the same boat as you, Mo. Where it's just hope that they have
serious, like defensive football. If you look parking the pass the whole game.
Yeah, be defensively sound and try to catch him, and that is the way to beat Manchester
and be
City.
clinical.
Someone that has seen Pep's, so literally having Pep on his knees, like literally we put that was a pause, yeah, but you know what is with Pep, like every time when we play them, he struggles against us. And I'll be real, other than him overthinking it and the other team playing hella defensive, very defensive, and hope that somebody just has the masterclass. Like, this is the thing for Inter. I think if they really want to win this, again, defensively solid, and I think one of the attackers needs to have a 10 out of 10, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
you got to pray that Pep beats Pep. That's what you got to pray.
That can, all jokes aside, that is therefore one factor that he overthinks it, which I don't think he will. Two, that there is a blueprint on how to beat this Manchester City side. It's just very, very difficult to implement. It's very, very difficult to go. Sit back deep, you know what I'm saying? Soak up the pressure and hit them on the break.
You got to have
that is the
on
only
side
way.
as well.
And obviously, of course, you need them to have an off day. Your goalkeeper to have a great day. Like somebody said, I think it was Jesu said about one of your attackers being high as well. And just hope your players play out of their skin. The way Manchester United beat City when we played them in at Old Trafford,
by an offside call.
That's the way. Hey, they had 78% of the ball and only had one shot on target. That's on them.
I think
do better.
The way you scammed that was crazy.
Do better. No. But again, that comes down to it. Is like do better. You had 80% of the ball. We wax lyrical about Manchester City's attackers all the time. They had one shot on target in the game, which was the goal.
I think the midfield's key. As always.
Midfield
battle is key in this.
Rodri, Gundogan, KDB, man.
I think we have midfield on par with them.
Right. Hey, I hope you're right, Mo.
Nah, I don't agree, but I'm with the optimism.
Hey, lie to me, man.
You just don't look. The difference is I watch every game for my club, and I watched every game for Man City.
Nah, that's why I'm not going against what you're saying, because I know you're much more knowledgeable than me about your own team. So that's why I'm taking on board what you say. If someone else was saying this, I'd be like, whatever. Because you're
like, I think Barella can outrun everyone in City's
right,
midfield.
Man.
He's top tier, man. Barella, man. Top tier player.
If win this final, I will never slander any of those players again. Grace forever. Lukaku, the whole nine. Grace period forever. Never slander them.
I'll still stand on Lukaku, man. I don't care.
No. I won't be. I'll be like Lukaku.
A lot of people got to give Lukaku his props if he delivers this.
If he wins, this is the greatest villain to hero story in football history, man.
Who's the villain here? Who's the villain?
Well, in some Chelsea
he's big shot, man. He's got hella heel turn.
Lukaku's the villain because most of these people here are Chelsea fans.
In Chelsea's fans' eyes, they are. Not mine. I don't really care. It's all good.
You guys, there's nobody. There's only one villain in world football at the moment, which is Chelsea. By the money you spend, there's only one
Pep
villain.
Guardiola, mate. That's who it is.
Well, Pep Guardiola is not. He's you know what?
He makes everybody miserable, man.
That has the biggest brain.
I now get why everybody. I get why now everybody hated.
He's Galactus, man.
I rate him. Don't get me wrong. I respect what Pep's done. He's an incredible manager, but I really dislike him. I have a strong dislike.
Yeah, it's the world against him. I said that for me. I support Inter, and I only want one club to do well in the world, which is Inter. I want everybody else to fail.
Facts.
I was watching teams play each other in the final of the Champions League, and I hope there is a fight that breaks out, and they cancel this final. I don't want any winner. And I'm watching this Pep Guardiola team, and I'm thinking, you fucker are so good that I want you to fail so bad, just because you're so good that you can destroy everybody else.
Yep,
it's unbelievable. Like Alex Ferguson, when he had Ronaldo, and Rooney playing out of their skin in that between 05 and 08. I was like, this team, if somebody need to beat these guys, somebody need to put these guys to bed. And I'm like, hey, because even in 99, if people are not old enough, in 99, Man United were the underdogs against Juventus, were the underdogs against Bayern Munich. They were in the better team. So I'm like,
their group was crazy as well.
Yeah, we had a group of
I'm okay. I was okay with Man United winning that time. I'm like, oh, they're not underdog. They're not the villain here. They're not the best team. Because the next final was in 2008. You know what I mean?
It was. Wait. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we should have got to more finals.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. We
should have made more finals, man. Fuck. Some of them.
But you weren't that great. People say that Man United team were great. You weren't great in world football until Ronaldo matured and started taking games by himself, dribbling people from halfway line and taking shots from 30 yards, 40 yards. You were like great in the English. Even Arsene Wenger won 2002 and 2004 Premier League, and then Mourinho came and dominated for 2 years before you like started to.
But we were mainstays in Europe. Like,
they were rebuilding it.
You were okay. You were
no.
Actually.
No. We were okay at times. We was good at times. We made semi-finals and quarterfinals on a regular basis.
Yeah, but remember, Pep Guardiola made semi-final, final. And winning the league as well. You know, and winning the league.
We did the same
by 90 points.
We did the same
in
shit.
the 90s, in the 2000s.
In the 90s, early in the
2000s.
Yeah, not all of it.
Exactly.
But not all of it, but the vast majority. I'm saying we won 01.
Hold on. 2002, 2004, 2005, 2006. You missed 4 out of these years.
So we got
and 2010 were Chelsea. So you won 5 out of 10 years.
That's cool.
Freaking Pep Guardiola about to win his 5th in 7 years.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying in that because he's had the out and out best team. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
but he's the best manager. He's the best manager as well, though. He's the best manager.
Let's not forget that.
I'm not discrediting Man United, but the dominance that he shows, it makes you like kind of just. Can you stop? Can you just leave the Premier League now for other people to win it?
Pep should have done more though in Europe. Let's not do that. Even if he wins this shit, he should have done more in Europe. With the teams he's had, he should have done more.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah, we don't. But again, people don't want to talk about this. Even if he wins this one, he should have done more in Europe. He should have done more. You've had
Europe, man.
2
fine margins
teams in Europe.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. Hey, don't even talk to me about the whole Porto thing. That's a whole different conversation. But we move. We do. Big up to Shah. Who says, right, yeah, so was 2008. Random fact, there's a Croatian player in every... Oh, is that too far? Hey, you know what, Seth? Up yours, in it. Random fact, there's been a Croatian...
What is this, man?
Yeah, I am. Hold that. I just hit the rock with it. It doesn't matter. But random fact, there's been a Croatian player in every Champions League winning team in the last 10 years and throwing all my hopes on Brozovic. Hey, Shah, this is the type of nonsense I want to hear. I'm with this 100%. I am fully backing this type of nonsense, yo. That means nothing. Hey, throw this out, people. Hit me with all.
Nah, man, it does.
Up until the finals. Hit me with all this. Hey, Cams, you can. Hey, Cams, you said something about right. You got Inter. Go on. Let's hear why. I want to hear your reasons. Go
the
on.
eggs, is it?
I don't know.
I love that.
Somebody says stop saying. There's no logic behind it. There's no logic.
I thought you had logic. I ain't gonna lie. Go on. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I legit thought you had a reason behind it.
No. If anyone has a reason, please let me know. But I don't think anyone does.
Serious, but I'm with this. Hey, Shah, anyone got any useless facts like this? I'm all for them. From now to the 10th of June. Anything,
someone give me a weird June 10th stat or something like that.
Facts,
do you know what I mean?
Like Pep does bad in June or something like that. You know what I mean?
Pep's got
it's a question for Man United fans. Do you think if you win the FA Cup final, that will put more pressure on Man City to win the Champions League?
Absolutely.
Oh,
because then you know what they'll take from Liverpool, that greatest runners-up tag. They'll get the greatest runners-up tag. If they lose a FA Cup final to Manchester United and lose a Champions League final to Inter Milan, then you're the Super Saiyan Luigi. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Because you finished runners-up to 2 teams you are clearly better than. You're much better than Manchester United.
They won the league.
Yeah, it just makes it a normal season for them.
But it's still, even though they've won the league, they're the last 2 games we remember.
They won the 2.
Think about it. They'll win the league, which they're expected to do. 3rd of June, they play Manchester United in the FA Cup final. They lose that in whatever fashion. Then you go on to the 10th of June and you lose to Inter Milan. So you've lost to Ten Hag and Inzaghi with inferior teams.
What do you
Do you
think
think
this
that
does to Pep
destroys the
legacy?
legacy, though? Do you think that destroys the legacy
It
a little
doesn't
bit?
destroy the legacy, but it puts a black mark on it. It's a bad black mark on it if he loses both games. 100%. Because that's what I remember. Yes, you won the Premier League. We all know domestically, no one questions you. But you had the chance to go and do something that only Sir Alex has done in terms of in this country win a treble. And you'd be the only, I think he'd be the only manager to win a treble in 2 different countries. Am I right?
No, he should have done a quad, man. Forget about a treble. He should
Yeah,
have
he should have done the quad.
Hey,
Yeah, he would be the only. He'd be the
Nathan
first
Jones,
manager in
man.
2 different
Praise
countries
Nathan
to win a,
Jones.
to
Shout out
win a
Nathan
treble.
Jones, man. I
Shout
hate
out
you,
Nathan
but
Jones,
shout out
Southampton,
Nathan
stop
Jones.
the quad.
Why people say that he should win a quad? Because
He should have beat Southampton.
They got
He should have
bounced
beat
by
Southampton.
Southampton in the Carabao Cup.
I'm saying.
yeah, but again, he's not like the most team to spend. He's not the most coach to spend money in the Premier League. Like he within his time, there are other teams that have more net spend than him. He's just being a good coach, and he has superstars that he made now. So I still think that he did his job at Man City. And I was telling Daps that this guy, when he was brought, people want to say he was brought to win the Champions League. No, he was brought for the kid in America and Asia to buy Man City jersey, which is
It's
happening.
all, yeah. I think it's a mix. It's all big up.
It's
Lewis in the cut as well.
but mainly look at how globally this guy made Man City look. I was walking with my wife here, and I was telling other people that on another stream that I was walking with my wife the other week on City Center in Houston, Texas, and I saw a kid wearing a Gundogan jersey, at the second jersey, and I'm like, that would have never happened without this guy.
100%.
They would not have gone to this global domination, being on the same table with Real Madrid and Chelsea
I hear you, Mo,
and
but
Man
where
United.
I come from, though, the reason why people are buying their shirts and why they're a global success is because of their success. If you take away his Premier Leagues, he wouldn't have. So has he been brought in to be domestically dominant? Yes. Has he also been brought in to win Europe? Yes, of course he has. We've seen the celebrations today. He's been brought in to win it, and if they don't win it, of course it would be a disappointment.
Yeah, he did it in the renewal. In when I was at Daps's, I think he got the video from the Man City official thing, and it says in it that I'm here to win it now. He said, I will be with you to win the Champions League. So now it's a target. But people wanted to say from the first year that this guy is there to win the Champions League. That's a lie. Like not in the beginning.
Not from the first year, but is it on the itinerary? Of course it is. That's why you spend the money that you do. That's why you invest in the squad you do. This is why you sign top class players to go and win the Champions League. The same way they want to win the Premier League and win the FA Cup and win the Carabao Cup. And he takes all of these competitions seriously. If he didn't care,
do you think your club is on the same route?
Absolutely not. Currently, right now, no. Currently not.
You're spending the money. You have a good manager. You are on par with Man City in terms of money, don't you?
Yeah, but that's right now. We're trying to.
Yeah, I'm talking right now. With Ten Hag now. Are you on that right now?
It depends on the ownership. Depends on the ownership. It's very dependent on the ownership. If we get the Qataris in, we get Sheikh Jassim in, yes, that is the plan. The plan is to go and compete, go back to normal. Even forget the owners. Get back to what we've been before. The whole aim at Manchester United, because in Manchester United, the name is winning Premier League titles and winning Champions Leagues. And
I don't think you've got the foundation that City have got. Because City's infrastructure and their foundations, like
Cam's, you're spot on. That's why I just said ownership. Because the ownership will change that. People always say, oh, United have spent money. I've never had issue with how the amount of money Manchester United have spent. I've never, ever said that. It's how we spent it. That's been our biggest issue. We spent the money. We've just spent it poorly because we've had people who are incompetent and not good enough at their job making these decisions, whether that's players on the pitch, whether that's the manager, whether that's people making decisions in the board, the hierarchy, etc. Because we don't have owners who care about our club at all. We really don't. And it shows. It's not a money thing. People think, oh, you spent money. Why are you lot? We were Glazers out when Manchester United were free-peating. All you have to do is go to YouTube, people, and you can see that. The green and gold scarf was there when we was free-peating and won the Champions League in 2008. I know this because I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was at OT for 2 of those knockout games when we played. One was Leon, and I can't remember who the other one was. I think it was Paul. I can't remember. Someone missed the penalty anyway. I was in the strap for them. So, like, it's been like that. This green and gold thing isn't new. There's just been more eyes on it and more conversation about it because Manchester United have been unsuccessful. But it's been here. We've wanted these men out for the longest. It's just that we had an incredible manager and we had an incredible infrastructure with David Gill as well that we managed to still be successful during that period against everybody. That's what it was. And to Pep Habibi says, Sir Alex has nothing on Pep, especially as a tactician. And Pep has nothing on Pep, and Pep has nothing on Sir Alex as a man manager. That's why he needs everything in his power. That's why.
That's what I like
People
about
really
Sir
talk
Alex
People just
Ferguson.
forget.
He
People
brought
just
in
forget Wes Brown
tacticians.
and
Yeah, like
people just forget. People
that's what it
forget.
is.
People like to forget Wes Brown, John O'Shea. This guy won the Champions League with them.
Yes.
Michael Carrick, Darren Fletcher. Yes, Michael Carrick was probably a good player, but he wasn't. Like for me, it's Alex Ferguson. The way he set up team, he made these people elite as well. Like John O'Shea and Wes Brown, they would not have started for any other team. I'm sorry, but he made them. People want to say man management. Talk to me about Dennis Irwin. He made him one of the best left back in the world at that time.
Yep.
Listen, this guy has made players much better, as much as Pep. Pep lately has evolved. Pep had one way of playing football. Sir Alex Ferguson had couple of ways of playing football. Sir Alex Ferguson used to switch from being a team with possession to just a counter-attacking team. It's just one game. He's like, well, we'll sit back. We'll just hit you on the counter. People just forget. People didn't watch enough football back in the days, to be honest.
No, because people be talking. Because the thing is, Mo, you're old enough. People be talking, especially on social media, about things they never seen. That's what it is. People be talking about, like a lot of people talking about early years of Sir Alex or mid years of Sir Alex.
I never watched that, so I wouldn't talk about. I have never.
Like people
seen
don't
that.
like. I remember when we went 3 years without winning the Premier League, and it was big question marks.
Yeah, there was
Sir Alex.
Ferguson going to leave
question
and all
marks
that.
is Ferguson going to leave? Is he good enough? And he reinvented himself time after time and seen off everybody. He's seen off everyone. Everyone from the start to the end, literally from the start of his reign. Once he was successful, he didn't come down. He was successful.
He had that self-awareness. As well to bring in guys like who's the is it it was the Iranian coach, Carlos Queiroz. He brought in guys like that, and like the whole system changed and everything.
Max, because he's like, all right, this tactically moving on. Let me get someone who's fresh to bring in, and that's what he did.
Free.
He helped that. Yeah, we switched it up, and people like not knowing what you don't know is such a key asset. Self-awareness is such a key asset that people like. You see it, man. You know what I'm saying? You see it. Like 100%. Self-awareness is lacking. Like a lot of people don't know what they don't know. Like when I was on Battle of the North, and Hassam legit thinks he's my guy. He thinks he's a football expert. That's crazy to me. He legit believes he's a football expert. And then he said to you, Flawless, so you saying you are. And I said, I can't because Hassam, my bro, so he's calm. And I was like, he's like, what are you saying you are? I'm saying, no, I'm not. I am far from it. But he genuinely believes in his heart of hearts he's a football expert. This is the type of thing I'm talking about. He legit believes that. Super entertaining, yes. Extremely knowledgeable about football, yes. A footballing expert, he's not. And I can say this on here because I told him this on the show, people. That's my guy, so I can talk about him when he's not here. But I'm just using that as an example. So imagine someone with the success of a Sir Alex Ferguson, how he could let his ego run out of control. Well, I built all this so I can run all this. You need to know what you don't know. Self-awareness is key, I'm telling you. So, yeah, man, what he did is incredible. And the fact that Pep consistently gets compared to him tells you all you need to know. It's like basketballers always get compared to Michael Jordan. That tells you all you need to know. And I ain't even a basketball fan like that. But all the time, it's Jordan. Whenever they compare someone to someone, it's, Michael Jordan. Same way in boxing, it's Muhammad Ali if it's a heavyweight. The list goes on. Recently, obviously, in more modern day era, it's Floyd Mayweather. But you lot get my point. You do. Hey, continue to bump up the likes before we close out. Someone did ask about what's it called about NBA game. Yes, we will be going over to the Twitch people for the Celtics Heat game 1. There will be a watch along for that on the Twitch. I know it's tipping up very, very shortly. Lewis, what are you saying though? You lot getting a result on Sunday? What are you telling me? I don't even know if he's there. Yo, Lewis.
Who did they play?
Yeah, they got City. They got City.
Lewis is here for the laughs, bro. He's here for the laughs, bro.
They got City, man.
Pray for them. Pray for them.
I can't wait, bro.
We won't need to because Forest are beating Arsenal on Saturday, so we're
going to be doing
actually pray for us. We need to do the job now. Good, by the way, they were Arsenal fans. They were willing to spend $3 on the Wolves game at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I saw that, man.
Hey, Jez, I know people that booked months in advance flying over for that game, because they're anticipating seeing
the guy that cancelled his wedding.
I know somebody.
Oh, his wife is livid. Cancelled his wedding.
Cancelled his wedding for failure. Crazy, man.
Yeah, we've had our last points this season. That's cool.
Hey, man, at least we get the Guard of Honor, man.
Man, we gotta get smacked 5-0. We gotta smack 5-0, guys.
I'm just there for the link up on Saturday.
Yeah. Pull up, man. We'll step out from 100%.
What ground's at?
It's at the Etihad.
Etihad.
Oh shit!
Saeed said he's got a spot for us.
Oh, is it? All right, calm. Yeah, I'll talk to you after the stream. Still, we're patting. We're patting.
Man. Have you guys spoken about the game?
We've spoken about, but if you want to.
Yeah, Victor Flo's yours.
Yeah. Right, Carlos set him off to fail, bro.
Go on, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What makes you say
Tony Cruz should not be playing as a holding midfielder against that City midfield in 2023. He should not. I know him and Tchouaméni are not friends, but like you need to firm it and play him. Or he could have done what he did in the second half. Play Alaba left back, Rudiger left centre back, and put Camavinga back into midfield. Apparently he did.
But
what was the report? Before you carry on, what was the report of him and Tchouaméni?
I heard something about him and Tchouaméni and not like seeing eye to eye anymore, and he's probably being sold in the summer if Carlos stays, which I don't think he does. But apparently he might leave as well.
But Victor, but for argument's sake, playing devil's advocate, don't you feel like even if these changes would have made Madrid still win this game? Because I'll be honest, I think City just played out of their mind today. I don't think they played. I don't think, other than getting Haaland maybe more involved and getting him to score, I don't think City could have played any better today.
They played like that without Haaland performing. That's crazy.
And he missed a couple of good chances as well.
Yeah. I think he could have done a lot more to keep them compact and not concede 4 the way they did. I know obviously after conceding 2, you're trying to push on, and obviously like more probably comes from behind. But like I feel like he could have done a lot more in compact because especially down the midfield, it was very easy for them to like penetrate
Hazard.
Oh yeah, that's what was missing from the game.
That's what they were missing.
We need Eden, man. We need the number 7, man.
And also Benzema wasn't involved as well. I know City tried to obviously phase him out from the game. But I think Madrid could have, because I've seen them play. I know we're shit, yeah, but I've seen them play our ground, and they play a lot. They play a lot more. They play much better than they did.
Yeah, but that's Chelsea time.
Yeah, I hear that, but like,
this
bless me.
I felt like Pep just gave them a footballing lesson today.
Yeah, I think Pep was good than Carlo. Like,
yeah, sometimes I agree with you, Cams. That's my fault today. I think you could have done stuff to maybe like favor, but sometimes you just gotta give it up to the opposition and say, you know what, you lot got us.
I don't think it mattered what Carlo did today. I'll be honest. He could have done whatever, and Pep still would have like got out there with a few goals against Real Madrid.
That's how I'm looking at it. I think legit that's what it is.
Like, do you often see Ancelotti getting sacked if Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think he's done. This is just extra shit.
I already told man earlier. Nagelsmann, get your flight to Madrid ready. I think he takes over. I don't know. Like obviously, Zidane is another option, obviously, and then obviously Dennis early, who's a Madrid fan in the chat, said he wants Raúl also as a manager. So I guess he will be in contention because I've seen his name before Ancelotti before he came in. I saw Raúl's name also mentioned. So it's going to be interesting who's going to be the.
They're not looking at Alonso as well.
No, Alonso already came up today saying he's going to stay another season.
Lampard's free in the summer if they want to go down that route.
Or maybe Ollie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Potter's free as well.
Potter's free.
Jokers. You know what I'm saying?
They'll probably just get Zidane back. I'll be honest. They'll probably just bring Zidane back.
Yeah,
These guys go back. Whenever the shit goes tough for them, they bring the X back. They get back with the X.
Potter's going to go to Nice and then go to Man United. Do you know what I mean? That's the route.
Is that the route? Yeah,
that's the route.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Overperform at Nice and then take over at United.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow, you man are so fucking funny.
It's not funny now, is it, Florida?
No, it's not. Nope. It's not. You know what I'm saying? As you can tell.
Okay.
It's not fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? You see me laughing. Hey, Victor, you shut up. How about that?
Hey, hold on,
Shut it, Flores, man.
I said deserve it to Real Madrid.
We're gonna close out. Any final
I
questions?
think the Derby is gonna coach Spurs.
Nah, don't
do that to Jess. Don't do that to Jess.
He isn't. So the last time he said that he knows that about 2-3 players are leaving, and I think he's not happy about it because he joined the Premier League because he thinks now is the right time for him to start winning things and he can compete. He has the philosophy. He has the tactical. Genius to actually make something happen with players. So I think if Daniel Levy might talk to him about it, and convince him with the money. Like he tried to convince Antonio Conte. Remember, Antonio Conte was on 15 million a year.
Yeah.
So I think if he tell him that I'm gonna get you a couple of players and you can work with the squad, I think he can poach him from Brighton, because at the end, Brighton have a limited fund. It's as simple as that.
Clause, right?
Yeah, they have. I think, and it's not too expensive. I don't think it's that expensive though to get them out. Like, for example, like we were reportedly willing to go and get the money to get Nagelsmann out of Bayern was an issue. So I don't think getting the Serbi out of Brighton in terms of the release clause, I don't think it's an issue. My issue is with the Serbi thing is that I just don't think Levy were actually presenting anything other than the money. I don't think he was presenting anything where like the Serbi would be willing to take the job, because at this moment in time.
So what do you think Brighton percentages?
Obviously, Brighton I don't think Brighton can offer him anything that we can in terms of the wages. But I feel like Brighton's, and let's say it this way, I think Brighton's setup in terms of the scouting department, board level, I think they can go and identify players for the Serbi better than we do, because we just a completely mess when it comes to.
I thought the scouting department left to go to Chelsea before he.
But they got new ones. And
I think the scouting was the guy that left for Newcastle. I forgot his name.
So exactly. So Brighton couldn't offer him anything. It was just a fish in the water. You know, like yeah, you'll get you this fish. But I think if Spurs are smart, they should go do this business.
No, I think, but this issue, that's the keyword that you just said. If we're smart, we're not smart at all. We idiot.
I think De Zerbi said as well. De Zerbi said
hiring Mourinho was smart. I think hiring Antonio Conte was smart. The problem with Spurs is that you don't have the culture in the club to win. And I always
that's why I don't think it's smart.
If Antonio Conte cannot fix you, I don't think anybody can fix you.
And this is the problem. That's why I kind of disagree with in the initial thought hiring a Conte or hiring a Jose Mourinho. For me, it's smart. It's when you go and hire these guys, but you don't want to back them to the levels that you would expect them to ask for. Like, how can you hire Jose Mourinho? He comes to you and says, I want Ruben Diaz. I want Milan Skriniar. But then you come back with Joe Rodon. It's not going to work out. That's why I think it's not smart. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's smart to get these guys in. But that's what I'm saying. That I think we got everything in place to get these managers in and support them. The issue is this decision making from the higher ups what's holding us back, in my opinion. Because we got the money, it's there as well. It's not like we have an issue with money.
I think it's all about what he said in the press conference is absolutely right. I think he said nobody wants to win in this club. They just want. He said there are other priorities, which is very obvious that there is other priorities in the club than winning.
100% agree. And obviously, people on the channel, the people in the panel chat, they know that I was very vocal about Conte. I was Conte out.
Oh, no, I've never heard on that day about him,
Before you go, let me just interject 1 second. Hey, to everybody, 1 second, just one quick second. We have started the watch along on the Twitch, people. So Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, Game 1. Ahmed is over on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch, holding it down. So if you are here for that, you can head over there for that. And
we're not showing up.
I know I can drag this discussion. I can drag this discussion.
So yeah, people, over on the Twitch, link for the Twitch is underneath in the description. Sarcasm City TV. But yeah, Celtics Heat Game 1 going over there now on the Twitch. Go on, say what he's gonna say.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say the sentence I was saying this.
Go on.
I was obviously Conte out massively, but on this last game after the interview, despite me having so many negative thoughts about him, 100% everything that he said in that interview, I didn't disagree with anything because he was right about it. But it was kind of like, but it's just the bad fit with manager and club, which is kind of sad because I felt like he could have maybe done something, but we are not really trying our best to make it work. And then he, in my opinion, he made it worse with certain things that happened behind the scenes. So I don't know. It's just a mess at our club. It's just a mess.
I don't think you have the culture in your club. Listen, Juventus were in the second division after the scandal that happened in 2006. They were 10th, and he instantly won them the title, made them winners, went to Chelsea, they were 10th, they had good players, amazing players. Eden Hazard won the title right away, went to Inter, we didn't win the league for 10 years, and he said, you know what, we're here to win, there's only one winner and 19 losers, and Inter won the league, went to the Europa League final. He went
nearly
to
won
Spurs,
Europa League, nearly
and
won.
it didn't work. So that it's impossible to think that there's something wrong with this guy other than thinking about something wrong with everybody around him. Because it's not only that he won everywhere, he has this winning mentality that he always adapted in every single job he took. When he took the Italian team in 2014, he had Eder and Pele as forwards, and he said, I'm going to go try to win the Euros. And they said, you're crazy. And he's like, no, I'm going to go. And he went out on penalties, I guess, to Germany. So this guy knows how to win. I think the club is run as a business instead of running as a club that won. Participation is okay for Spurs. And you did not create the history to back you to sit on the big table if your club falls out. That's the problem. Chelsea...
my opinion, I think we only are in the conversations there, or even the big six, because again, we just make a lot of money. That's it.
No. And you made a lot of like what is it? Sparkle. The Champions League final, maybe challenging for the league, Champions League here and there, knocking out City. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely something completely. You're like when you make a sparkle, people notice you. So they're like, yeah, you can sit with us. But you,
I like the analogy. That's good. I just made me laugh, but it's good.
But you actually didn't make the history. Like Chelsea over the past 20. Listen, I knew Chelsea from before 2003 because of Zola and Ravanelli and Vialli played there. Already. You know what I mean? But when they got the money and they got the opportunity, they were like, you know what? We're just winning Champions League. We're winning leagues. And we are sitting on the table with these guys because we're going to make our history when we can. Spurs didn't. And that's why you're going to fall apart. I'm sorry. You're going to go back to be not Aston Villa. You're going to go back to be Everton until you start winning. That's a big problem.
Let me get to this.
I don't think it's unreasonable.
Yeah, go on. To Ozan come back for the super chat. He says, "Yo, big up Flawless, big up Mo, late night crew. Large up to everyone who's still tapped in. Still over 130 of you lot in the building. Continue to get your questions in, members. I will get to your questions, so I will start with any members' questions. Get your sporting questions in. Of course, if you super chat, I'll get to it as well before we close out. And like I just stated, the NBA watching.
I need to go have dinner because my wife is texting, bro.
Yeah, no. Hey, go take care of business, man. Mo,
we don't want any problems.
Man. Man, we don't want no problems. Yeah, 100%.
Forza Inter, man. Forza Inter.
It's the world. The world is with us.
Yes.
The world is with you. So hopefully Inter do the business, man. Big up Mo every single time.
See you guys, man.
Yo, Flawless, what do you think of that combined 11 on Sky Sports?
What the
City and United.
It's just biasness, isn't it? Like it's just biasness. Like I understand why Carragher went with what he went with, and I understand why Neville went with what he went with. People don't understand when you're talking greats, it's literally splitting hairs. It's fine margins to me. When we're talking two GOATs of any position, it's just then what you prefer, number one, and then number two, your biasness. So I get why he went with. Of course, Gary Neville's not going to leave anybody out. Of course
he'd never do. He's like what Kane did a few years ago when they did it with the Liverpool team. He didn't leave anyone out.
I don't know why he did this anyway. The City haven't won the treble yet.
But
I think it was that potential, wasn't it? They want a headline, man. They want a story. They want a narrative to run. Do you not think any City players get in that team?
I think Walker has a shot over Gary Neville.
I was thinking that as well.
Walker, if it's two, it's Walker and Diaz. That's it to me.
Diaz, do you not think?
Oh, who was Stamps? Was it
Ronnie Johnson? Ronnie Johnson, and I rate Ronnie Johnson highly. But if someone said Diaz over Johnson, I go, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think John Stones gets in instead of Diaz. I'll be honest.
All right, I put John Stones. If you go Stones, cool. But I can't put. It's got to be Dennis Irwin and Stam. I'm not. I'm getting against them too.
I'm not putting Greenish in for like 2.5 months.
Keane, Scholes, Giggs, and Beckham is the best front
De
four.
Bruyne.
I mean, midfield four I've ever seen. Like that's just me though. So because it's the best midfield four I've ever seen, I'm not gonna go against that. And then York and Holden, that's partnership I've ever seen.
You know, the football was so different then. So like De Bruyne wouldn't be like a centre midfielder, like a Keane and Scholes. Yeah, he'd be like what York was. What York was? He kind of been there.
He wouldn't be disciplined enough to play in a 4-4-2.
Or he'd play like where Beckham, not even Beckham.
Yeah, he played about wide. Yeah,
maybe Beckham, because Beckham would be, if he was in this era, probably what De Bruyne is in terms of playing like that inside.
Because you've seen them both. Would you not say De Bruyne's better than Beckham?
At what?
Just in general.
They play different positions though.
Yeah,
because Beckham was a wide right as a right midfielder. So can De Bruyne do all of that? Like Beckham had to.
He kind of plays on the right anyway. De Bruyne.
He plays on the right.
That's his way.
Two midfielders behind you, innit? Whereas
that's why I really hate this like comparing eras thing, because it's like
it's hard. It's hard because there's so many like.
Because it's like
intricacies.
This is Pep's best ever team. It's like, well, I don't. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to compare the eras. Do you know what I mean? It's like that Barca team was something special.
Even the City 18-19 team was.
Exactly. The Centurions. Look at the Centurions, for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean?
Doesn't Pep had a lot of great teams.
Exactly. It's like,
the team that won the domestic.
You would have to go like a whole you have to dedicate like a good day to really discuss and check every team that he had.
Like, it'd be if Liverpool won the quad last year, you'd obviously say that's the best ever Liverpool team.
So I wouldn't even say it's the best.
It might even be the best playing team. It's like Arsenal's Invincibles is the best ever, their best ever Premier League team on stats, but it's not the best that they ever played. Their double-sided 0-2 is the best football I've ever seen Arsenal play. The 0-1-0-2 side when they won.
A lot of people talk about their 98 team as well. Big up their 98.
To me, on paper, they're 98 side, even though I was slightly younger.
The 1-0-2 side, that football was something else, man. You know what I mean?
That 98 side was different though as well.
Yeah,
but go on, carry on.
Yeah, exactly. It was different, but it was like that was more like a machine, like
before Henry though, wasn't it as well?
Yeah, exactly. You had Henry, Pires, Lundberg, World Tour and stuff like that. Man. You got Vieira coming. But look at United's teams. It's like, well, the treble side's the best ever United team, but that 07, 08,
the 08 side's better. That's the crazy part.
That's definitely better.
The 08 side's better, but the team in 99 won more.
Exactly. I mean, we won. Our double team 09-010 scored like the most goals, but our 04-05 team I think is better than that team.
Yeah, that's your best team.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
So it's like just because
I'm out, big up, guys. I'm out.
All right,
18
limit yourselves to like, you know.
Yes, bro.
Always look at trophies and stuff like that.
I forget Chelsea have players like Crespo and that. Like,
well, that was 05-06. Yeah, that was
yeah.
That was he was a great player. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, that's why it's all a preference thing. Final few questions before we close out, and then head over to the Twitch people where the watch along is going down already. It's being held down by Ahmed over there, so make sure you head over there. If you are here for the NBA, or you're more interested in that than the Q&A, but we're going to keep providing content for you. Look at this, man, live on both platforms at the same time. Let's see what else is going on. Did I miss anything? Let's see. LFC for the double said, I think our best team recently was the 1920 team. That team was good enough to win the treble, even the quad, and we only got the Prem. Hey, LFC.
I think that as well. Like, I just debate with Ryan before. He says he thinks the 18-19 team was better, but I think the 1920.
You said 1920. What's the difference between the two? What tips you over the edge with the 1920 team?
We were just a more refined side. Like the 18-19 side, it was more when all the fresh faces came in. But like 1920, we kind of, it's like his play style. We knew it to a T, and I think between drawing with United, we just won every single game. I think the only time where you look at our league form is when we actually won the league, where you could say, all right, they tailed off a little bit, because after we won the league, like we were losing games left, right, and centre against like City, Arsenal, and the Champions League, that was freakish what happened in the Champions League.
All right, first, I'm saying it now. That's fair enough. No, I hear you. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Big up though, man. Everyone who joined over from the Never a Foul raid, everyone's there. Shout out to Mo. You'll see Mo over here more often as well, but shout out to Mo every single time as well. DJ says, is Edison underrated as an all-round keeper? He made 2 world-class saves today, the cruise shot and the Alaba free kick, but he will barely get a mention. I think Edison gets his plaudits.
Definitely.
I think he gets it. I think he gets his plaudits.
Definitely gets his plaudits, yeah.
Yeah. I rarely hear anybody say, yo, you know what I'm saying? Edison's an awful goalkeeper, or he's average, or he's overrated. He gets his plaudits.
I think
he gets rightly criticised. I think because when they lose a game, it's most of the time it's down to a blunder, and I've seen him a lot of times like have errors and cost City in big moments. I think that's why he gets like the criticism.
The cruise shot was a great save. The Alaba one,
yeah, you'd expect him to make.
Was like a usual save that a goalie should make. It wasn't like it was in the corner or anything like that. It was like more central. Whereas the cruise shot was a banging shot and he got fingertips on it. So
Courtois looked like he was gonna have a blinder.
Oh, that save in the first half from the
save from Haaland
header.
Decent
that. He's a great goalkeeper. He's a great goalkeeper.
This guy hating, over there hating,
It's our second best ever goalkeeper.
Behind check.
Yeah.
Right, Mendy, man.
I said Mendy.
Cam, sharp, man. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
I could have said Kepa, man. I could have said Kepa really, but
look what I wanted to say just, but I didn't say shit.
Yes. Hold that, fam. Hold that.
Cam's is busy, man. He very rarely jumps on the stream now. You're on it all the time with me, man. You get that shit.
Hold that, Yeah, exactly. Warrior J says flawless except for Ivan Toney. Which other striker do you want? Just bring me anyone of that profile. But there's no other names that stick out in regards to the Premier League or striker I see and go, yeah.
There's not a lot of players that play like Toney, man.
You want the car?
Get me someone after. Nah, you lot can have him at the Chelsea.
Hashtag look who's back.
You know what I'm saying? You lot can have him
I
third
think
time.
Ollie Watkins could do something for United, Ollie Watkins. I'll be honest.
I need to see him again for another season. I don't know if this is just a purple patch thing. But yeah, bring me someone athletic, pace and power, good technical, can play in the wing, can play in the two, hold the ball.
Ten Hag would love Ollie Watkins.
He would, winning runner, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I want better than Ollie Watkins. Get him out, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Get him out Liverpool.
Nah, man, we're well bigger, better things. We've got our super sale Ollie Watkins.
I don't want anybody.
Darwin Nunes.
I don't want anybody who I genuinely believe I have a better first touch than. I'm good on that. I genuinely believe I have a better first touch than Lukaku. I swear on my life. If we did a first touch competition, I think I'd win. I'm not with that. 110%. And my touch isn't all that.
A man on Twitter tweeted him and said, "You've got a dead first touch." And man got a video from training and put it and retweeted the guy.
Shook. You gotta have more. You gotta be thicker skin than that, man. You are playing professional football. You are living out.
I mean, he does have thicker skin, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ed, what's it called? I didn't say anything.
How about you just improve your first touch? You know what I'm saying, how about that would be a thing to do? Improve your first touch. It's crazy. You gotta ignore people like that. When people chat shit, just let them chat shit. Well, he knows his first touch isn't good. You know it's a problem. But he could be. I'm hoping now that he's a Champions League winner. But here we fuck it out.
Lukaku Champions League winner, man. He's gonna flex that like crazy.
100%. He's gonna be wearing that for the rest of his life. 100%.
Milano. He's gonna be giving like a. Do you know when they win the playoff? A team with guys in the playoff and
they wear the ring.
Yeah. Who's the guy that said that? Anything's possible.
That was for you.
After the game, he's going to be Lil Brian Howland putting his arm around him.
It's crazy. And the big smoke who says Harry Kane are better, but who go locate there. The thing is, they don't have to be better than Harry Kane. They just have to fit what we're trying to do. I don't think Ivan Toney is a better player than Harry Kane, but it's about fitting the team. I've been telling people this. People are like, how could you want Toney over Kane? Kane's a better player, people. No doubt about it. Never once will I tell anybody that Ivan Toney is a better player than Harry Kane, but it's about fit for the team. That's what it is. It's about that. That's legit what it is. I think Jadon Sancho is better than a lot of players, but it's about who's more effective for the team. I don't think Garnacho's a better player than Sancho. Just overall, just stat for stat, not stat for stat, attribute for attribute. But you have to have certain things in the pace and power game, and I talk about it all the time.
He's just direct and fearless, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. This is why we see someone like João Felix. I use him as the example all the time. Baller. I think he's super talented. But man's got Werner numbers at Chelsea. What is he, 3 and 18? He's better than a
That's
3 and 18 player. But it's something like that, right? It's 3 goals in 18.
Yeah,
and we
I
all
think
know he's cold. And it'll probably
No,
end,
I
what,
think it's
4 and
4.
20? Is it what, 4 and 18?
No, it's free.
No,
It's just
No,
not
it's
free.
free.
It's
Let's
free
not
in
pump up
18.
his stats, man.
So
I
he could,
thought it was 4. I thought
he
the
le-
former performance was 4.
yeah. So he legit could end the season with, you lot got 3 games left, right? He
Who's
could end
his
the
free-
season 3 and 21.
Who's his 3 goals against? So he's got
One's
Bournemouth.
One's West Ham.
Bournemouth, Everton.
West Ham.
and West
So it's
Ham.
all like bottom 5.
Yeah,
Bottom
see?
5 teams.
Cams, when we start talking about these things, it makes it sound even worse.
Yeah, you got
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth and
West
Richarlison.
Ham, and
Everton,
Yeah, we said it, bro. Everton. Everton, West Ham.
yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
This is what I'm
It's
saying.
all right, bro. It's all right.
But everyone know he's super talented. Like, I never doubt that man's skill set. He's a better player than most.
Actually, he scored a goal in. Oh no, he hasn't. No,
Against
he
Leicester.
hasn't. Yeah, that's
See? So, yeah. But and that's just legit what it is. So yeah, go get a better striker, not a better striker, but go get a striker that fits what Manchester United are trying to do. The strikers out there for whatever Ten Hag wants. Go get profiles. It's not.
Yeah, there's always someone out there. Like, look at how Brighton do their business, man. Like, you'll think, oh, there's no one out there. They just go and unearth some random player and then sell them for 80 million, 70 million, 1 or 2 years later.
Like, we was linked with the Casado before he went to Brighton. Like, there's
I remember.
Casado's not the only Casado. I'm saying
Who's-
people treat this
Who's
like you're
this
looking
guy
for.
from Ecuador? 3 million. No, thank you. I'd rather
Yeah,
go sign someone else.
And they went time for
Talk about United and but in particular United, but talk about like players being signed like you're trying to find a wife. Like the pool's not that small. The pool's big. If you're trying to find a wife, the pool is very small, people. There ain't shit out here. But in terms of footballers, there's millions. Well, not millions, hundreds of thousands all across the globe. And you can go and scout them. So yes, you can go find a striker or a midfielder. It's like when people talk about United with the goalkeeper situation. Oh, we can't get a replacement for David De Gea. We've replaced better goalkeepers than David De Gea before.
You know, why do people think teams have scouts in the first place? Like, you can't just say that. You can't just say there's no one in the market. Like, why does your team employ scouts? Like,
because when people say there's no one in the market, you know what that is, Cams. There's no one obvious in the market. So there's no one within the Premier League. There's no there's not a Harry Kane goalkeeper. You get what I'm saying? And that within the Premier League. Or there's not an Ivan Toney. There's not an obvious one. There's like, all right, go get me such and such. Like Harry Kane's obvious. We could make that signing. Yeah, you need a striker. Yeah, go sign Harry Kane. Go sign Ivan Toney. Like they're obvious signings. Or go sign Casado or McAllister or whoever. They're obvious. We see them week in, week out.
Mm-hmm.
Casado's not obvious when he's playing in Ecuador. Like that in CISO, they signed, you know what I'm saying?
Paraguay.
Oh,
Undav as well.
Yeah, like he don't even have like when he scored, I was doing the most, and I went on his Wikipedia. This guy had no before Brighton, there was no appearance. His other club wasn't there. There was no appearances.
I think Undav was like the top scorer in Belgium. I think
he wasn't at USG. He was at the parent club.
Yo, he's at Union St. Gonads.
Yeah, hey, whoa. Too far.
Oh, is that too far? Yeah, whatever, man.
Underground sandwich garden. That's what they call it.
Right, we're gonna close out, people. Big up to everyone that's locked in. I'm heading over to that Boston Celtics Miami Heat watch along game 1. It's going down live right now on the Twitch, people. Like I said, I'm holding it down. I will be over there. It's currently 30-28 Boston lead, and then we're back today, people. 4:30 p.m. UK time. Man United podcast. That's 4:30 p.m. UK time. Then following that midnight Manchester United Arsenal show with me and my Cam. So you know that's gonna be interesting. Because he is still going through the 5 stages of grief. If you didn't hear him on Shameless, people, he legit on the show. Me, Lewis, and the rest of us were like, yo, we have no idea what he was talking about. We have no idea. Man legit went through denial. What is it? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. On the entire
and then
show.
went back around again.
And then he went back round again and he reversed it.
A carousel, man. A carousel.
He packed that shit up and reversed that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, jeez. All right. Love to everyone that's locked in. Big up to you lot. Please continue to support in the manner in which you lot have. And this has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up. And see you lot over on the Twitch as well, man. Get over to the Sarcasm City TV Twitch.